Hello everybody out there in YouTube land. Levi Clay here, and I'm back again for another one of these wonderful, enjoyable, thoroughly entertaining, informative, educational, and a great use of your time listening party streams. These are streams where I listen to a record and you guys listen along with me and we talk about it. Talk about what we like, talk about what we don't like. Hopefully inspire me to go and do some transcribing. This one probably not because the whole album has been transcribed, but I'm having a big Brent Mason couple of days. So let's talk about Brent Mason. Let's listen to some Brent Mason. Let's get excited about Brent Mason. Let's just say Brent Mason over and over again. Brent Mason, Brent Mason, Brent Mason. There we go. Not Brett Mason, Brent. There's an N in there. Brent Mason. This stream is brought to you by Cherry Coke. Thank you very much, Connor. You wonderful, wonderful... It's never going to focus, is it? Thank you very much, Connor. You wonderful human being that just sent me 72 cans of this. And this is German. It's sweeter. It's sweeter than the stuff we get over here. Nice, very nice. So yeah, Connor, you absolutely rock. As I say, today we will be. Let's try that again. As I say, today we will be listening to Hotwired, Brent Mason's classic debut solo album from 1997. There's 10 tracks on this record. It's a killer record. I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. It's short, very short, 35-minute album, very short. The way these listening party streams work, there we go. The way these listening party streams work is that there is a link below. There is a link in the description for this video where you can go to Spotify and check out this album yourself. Let me be clear, I will not be playing the music over this stream. That would be copyright infringement. I wouldn't do that to Brent. I wouldn't do that to... You respect copyright owners, right? I want you to load this album up on Spotify and hit play when I hit play, and we're going to listen to it together. We're going to talk about it. It will look like this when I'm doing it. Hang on, let me give you an idea. It's going to look like this. So you'll always be able to see where we are. Let's make my face a bit bigger. You'll always be able to see where we are on the album, how far in the track we are, and yeah, should be relatively simple. I'm sure you get it. So again, link in the description. Head on over to Spotify or your streaming app of choice and load up the album Hotwired. We'll talk for a little bit, and then we'll get the album on the go. And it'll be fun. We'll have a great time. I'll tell you my favourite moments on the album. There's lots of cool stuff on this record. So yeah, there you go. Simple as that. Before we get started, guess what? I'm just roll my credits. Big thank you to these names scrolling here. These are my Patreon supporters. Thank you very much, guys. It genuinely does make a big difference in my day-to-day life. It means I can take a shit ton of time out of my day and focus on making YouTube videos. Focus on making decent videos. Just double check my audio is working. Yeah. Focus on making YouTube videos and doing stuff like this. I can consider this work now, which is kind of cool. So if you'd like to support me over there is a link in the description where you can head on over to my Patreon page and support me for as little as $1. Every little helps, as they say. Alternatively, you can head on over to Amazon, link in the description. Check out one of my books. Got a fair few country books. Obviously, Brent was massively influential in all of my country stuff. Brent is one of my all-time favourite players. So yeah, you know, his signature is kind of all over my writing, and yeah, obviously his new Fender signature Telecaster has just been announced. I absolutely need one. I need one. I just need somebody from Fender to hook me up. I'm happy to pay for one, but I just don't want to go and spend £2,500 on a guitar to then have it in all of my videos and essentially sell it for Fender. The very least you can do, Fender, is hook a brother up. You know it's worth it. You know it's worth it. Chasing Sound, how's it going, man? Thanks for tuning in. And James Taylor, good to see you, bud. Hopefully you've got the album queued up and you're going to enjoy it with us. It's very warm in this studio today. I don't know what the weather's like where you guys are, but it's hot in Scotland for once, which we don't get very often. It's kind of nice to have a bit of heat. Yeah. So for those unfamiliar, I did do a video, I think it went up yesterday, talking about this album and how influential this album was on me, and I'm sure you guys are going to enjoy it. It was influential because it allowed me to kind of take country music a little bit more seriously, though as I say, there are only really 3 songs on this that I would call country, and they're country rock type things. The rest of it is kind of melodic, jazz, LA fusion. I say LA, you know, he's obviously not based in LA, but what I mean by that is like that Larry Carlton, Lee Ritenour type sound that we think of from those kind of guys, Robin Ford-esque sound. Yellow Jacket sound is the way somebody else described it. One of my students earlier today described it as like a Yellow Jacket sound. And there's definitely a lot of tracks on there that have that kind of vibe. So it's, to be honest, it's your classic solo instrumental album where you from a musician that's musically capable, where they feel the need to show you that they are more than just what you think they are. Like when you listen to, I always use Guthrie's album as an example. There has to be the novelty country song on there, Rhode Island Shred, to give you an idea of, you know, how musically versatile the player is. Now I say that like shaking my head like this because obviously I'm being a bit stupid, but yeah, Brent's album is musically relatively diverse. There's no heavy metal on here or anything, but musically very diverse. So I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. Hello Tim, how's it going? Thank you for tuning in. Thank you very much. Let's try it again. Thank you. Sometimes I can talk. Today isn't one of those days. Thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate it. Nothing going on Facebook land. I should probably do like an Instagram thing. Usually I do like a video where I'm like, hello Instagram, come and check me out on YouTube, etc, etc. But I don't have my phone with me. I left it in the house. So the beauty of having a studio that's like not in your house. You feel isolated from the house. I feel like when I come out here to work, I'm actually out here working. But also if I leave things in the house, they're basically in another dimension now. I can't access those things anymore. The phone is gone. Right. So I'll give it another couple of minutes. I'll give it let's say 4 more minutes, and then we'll get this album queued up. Oh, how could I possibly forget this? If you do enjoy these streams, if you like these listening party streams, please share this on social media. Help this channel reach a whole new audience of people. It's massively important. You know, these streams are so much fun when we get engagement in the comment section, and I can promise you they would be so much more fun if we had 10 times the engagement in the comment section. I'm literally reading the comments as they come in, every single thing that you say to me. So Chasing Sound has just said, and I'm going to read it, thanks for everything that you do, man. You inspired me to really use Transcribe and Guitar Pro. Also been digging into your country compilation book. See, I'm reading all of the comments, and I'm happy to engage with you guys. It makes it more fun, especially when we're talking about an album. So yeah. And thank you very much. You are very welcome, dude. And I'm glad that you have got something out of the videos. And thank you for picking up my country compilation book. That's always a big help. If anyone wants to check out my country compilation book, link in the description. Cool. Oh, your voice online. How's it going, man? After your video, I got really curious about this album. Maybe you'll manage to get me into country after all. Well, it seems unlikely because, as I say, this just really isn't a country album. The song Hotwired is very definitely country. Blowing Smoke and Gator Bite, they have a country vibe to them, but they're more country rock. I wouldn't really think of them as being straight-ahead country. Really, I think the thing you'll enjoy on this album, the thing that I'll try and push you towards on this album is the song Swing with a Sting. So for anyone that's watched me play, you know, solo guitar, improvising on blues and stuff, like Swing with a Sting is hugely influential on me and the way I play. Massively influential on me. That's probably been more influential on me than any other track on this record. Obviously, I love country music. Also, First Rule of Thumb, actually, it was really influential. But I love country music, and I really do love country music. But at the same time, I love jazz, and I love blues, and I love that fusion of all of those things, jazz, blues, and country coming together. So hopefully you'll enjoy it. Martin has just posted it on Facebook. Thank you very much, Martin. I appreciate that very much. You rock. Let's have a bit more of this cherry coke. Small steps work better than deep dives. Yeah, I like that. To be honest, you know, if you are wanting to kind of dip your toe in the country realm, one of my best friends is Doug Cartwright, London-based guitar player. He was in Hellcat Molly, my band. And Doug is metal till he dies. Like, he's the most hardcore metal fan, as all metal fans are, right? I don't mean that like facetiously. He's super metal. Like, that's all he's ever wanted to do, and he's so good at it. He's an expert of the genre, and, you know, excellent at what he does. But he sent me a message the other day saying, I don't know how, but I think you might have got me into country music. He sent me a link. He was listening to Brad Paisley's album Play, which is the instrumental guitar record. I say instrumental, there's a couple of vocal tunes on there, but largely instrumental, and he said he really enjoyed it, and he's played it a few times now. So that might be a good place to take a look. The other one that I recommend is Johnny Hyland's first album, the self-titled album. I mean, to be fair, you could go with any of Johnny Hyland's records, but you're going to get a lot of country rock on those things, and I mean, like, Johnny's a phenomenal player, like really, really good player. But you can tell that he has a heavy rock background because there's always a lot of attitude and to everything he plays. So yeah, the Johnny Hyland instrumental, his solo album. Let's try that again. His debut. There we go. Debut instrumental, the self-titled instrumental album that was on. Was it on Shrapnel? No. Was that one on Favoured Nations? I think that one was on Favoured Nations. Yeah, that one was on Favoured Nations, the Steve Vai's label, I'm sure. But yeah, great record. This one, Hotwired. I got this album in the hopes of it being the thing that would get me into country music. But in reality, of course, it's not really a country record. So I did love it, but yeah. Yeah. I mean, just generally speaking, I mentioned Mr. Paisley there, Yavor, and Brad's albums in general were the thing that really made me fall in love with country music. When the album Fifth Gear came out, that was a lovely blend of country and pop for me. It was very obvious. The songs were very obvious, if that makes sense. Big choruses type thing, but phenomenal guitar playing. It's not my favourite Brad album anymore, but it was my favourite for a very long time. If you put on tracks like Mr. Policeman, that's probably a really good representation of some of the stuff that Brad does. But in terms of songwriting, there's tracks like Letter to Me is on that album. That's a great, it's a genuinely very nice song. You could strum that on acoustic guitar and sing it. It's a great song. What else is on that album? All I Wanted Was a Car is the opener. That's a great tune as well. More kind of straight ahead. Ticks, I think that's track 2, Ticks. That's a great tune. Great guitar tone on that track. It's got that half-cocked wah thing in the verse, and yeah, really, really like that tune. Online is on that album. I'm Still a Guy. There's lots of songs on that album. Actually, you tend to find there's lots of songs on every album. But yeah, Fifth Gear by Brad Paisley is a vocal record that I really got. So yeah. James says he's never been a fan of the country style vocals. Lyrics can be way too depressing. I think that's why Brad works for me, because all of Brad's music is very fun. All of Brad's music is very upbeat and about having a good time, and it's often very funny as well. Very funny. If you think of songs like referencing Fifth Gear, let's go with Online. The song Online, which is the tale of the music video for it stars Jason Alexander actually being a nerd who is a nerd by day, but when he goes home and turns on his computer, he gets to pretend to be this whole new person. Online, I live out in Malibu. I'm 6'5" and I've been in GQ. I drive a Maserati. I'm a black belt in karate and I love a good glass of wine. It turns girls on that I'm mysterious. Tell them I don't want nothing serious. Because even on a slow day, I can have a 3-way chat with 2 women at one time. I'm so much cooler online. It's, you know what I mean? It's country for the younger generation, and genuinely I like that song. Mr. Policeman as well. Like I say, that's the tale of running away from the police. It's fun. It's a light-hearted album. Definitely recommend it. Obviously, that's not Hotwired. Any tip for someone with large fingers? My fingers look like sausages, actual sausages in terms of thickness. They're quite long as well. I have phenomenally large hands actually. I'm looking for something that might give you an idea of comparison for how big my hands are. If I hold up a magic card, because obviously I've got tons of magic cards here, but my hands make anything look relatively small. No one has bigger hands than me. These hands are giant hands. They just look very in proportion because I'm a giant person. So, but there's no tips. There's no tips for someone who has long fingers or large fingers, or small fingers and skinny fingers and small fingers. You'll do fine. So, and Martin says he loves a mixture of country music and flamenco. Cool. I'm sure I can hear an electrical noise and it's annoying me, and I don't know where it's coming from. Won't be that cable. Might have some interference coming from somewhere. Anyway, should we get on with this album? Because I said I'd have it on a while ago. Right, I'm looking around to see if I've got a tape measure to measure my fingers, because that would be the only reason you'd have a tape measure around you, wouldn't it? You just that's what we do. We measure our fingers. Do I have an opinion on the Dario Cortese book? Yeah, his Hotwired transcription book. So Dario was my teacher at the Institute, and I was really into Brent Mason when I met Dario. But obviously he was really, really into Brent Mason, so that was a reason that I really kind of enjoyed his time and would ask him a lot of questions, because he was someone I looked up to as someone that knew a lot more about a style that I was fascinated by than I did. So when he put that book out, I was really happy for him, because I knew that was something he wanted to do for a very long time. I'm very surprised that he managed to make that happen, because this album's long out of print. So the fact that somebody wanted to publish a transcription book for this, is wild to me. But yeah, genuinely very happy for him. It's overall very good. There are a couple of issues with it, a couple of discrepancies in there. And when I say discrepancies, I'm not talking about inaccuracies, though technically I'm talking about inaccuracies. There are a couple of moments in there that I spotted where the notes that are in the notation and the notes that are in the tab are different notes. I certainly remember seeing that on first rule of thumb, but it's still a highly recommended book. And there's a reason I haven't sat and transcribed these songs. Why bother? Dario did a great job of them. Dario knows what he's doing. So, yeah. Right, cool. Let's check the album out. So, one more time. I will not be playing this album over the stream. That is not how a listening party works. That would be copyright infringement. I have the album queued up on my Spotify. I am going to press play on the album, and I will be able to hear the album in my headphones. You will also be able to listen to the album if you follow the link in the description to Spotify or wherever it is that you listen to music. And think about it like this. If we had 10,000 people on these streams, I mean, never going to have 10,000 people on these streams, right? But imagine we had 10,000 people watching these streams, right? And I said, let's all go and listen to this album. That would be some good streaming revenue for the artist. That's how copyright should work. We should be respecting the copyright owner. So, yeah, go and stream the album. I mean, you're going to put very little money. I don't even think Brent owns these. I'm sure Brent doesn't own these recordings, actually. But yeah, it's putting money in someone's pocket. It's the fair way to do things. So yeah, please do go and listen to the album. I'm sure you will enjoy it. I want to, I think there's an issue actually. So I'm not on that one. Let me move this around just a little bit. There we go. Oh no, you don't want to see my, there you go. So now you'll be able to see where we are in the track at any given time. Make sense? Right. Okay, so as I say, I'm going to hit play on this. You guys won't be able to hear it unless you are ready to listen to it. So I'll give you a minute, and then we're going to hit play on this album together. We'll sit and listen to it. We'll talk about it. I'll tell you everything I think about it. Oh, look at this friend activity. What's Andy Wood up to? Andy Wood's the man. I've got to do a stream with him soon. I do need to do a stream with him soon, but we've got to look over the transcriptions for his album Junktown, which I've just finished. That's really good. Right. Okay, cool. So I'm going to hit play on the track Cayman Moon in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Enjoy the stream. Oh, I love that chord change. That's E flat major 7 to a D flat 9 or D flat 9 sharp 11. E flat, D flat. Lydian dominant, beautiful. Nice interplay between the instruments. Very subtle pedal steel in the background there. There's Paul Franklin on this record, obviously. In fact, I can give you the entire... I know his brother Randy plays drums. Yeah, Randy Mason on drums, Glenn Wolfe on bass, and Matt Rollings on piano. So, you know what I mean? It's not country. It's sophisticated. It's nice. So we hear the melody again. I love that Fender Rhodes sound. Beautiful. Great lick. Almost feels like background music. I find that offensive. Okay, so now we get the solo. Let's over those changes again. E flat to the... And listen, beautiful. Benson lick now. Very Larry Carlton, right? Harmonized melody there, which is nice. On the acoustic guitar. I was teaching this song to a student today, so this kind of made me want to do this stream. This is a great chord progression to use for learning to solo over changes. Awesome. That's great to hear, Jeff. Great. I'm glad you checked out Crawford. Thing with Brent, listen to the technique there, right? How fast he plays and how articulate he plays. He plays with a thumb pick and his two fingers. So it's thumb, index, thumb, middle, thumb, ring for those fast lines. Okay, so it's a nice, smooth intro to the record. And I said this on my video, if I was to cover one song on this album, it would be this next song, Mellow Midnight. This Fender Rhodes part in the intro here, beautiful chords. So warm, gets you here. Subtle pedal steel playing in the background. And we get our melody. The way the melody's supported by that Fender Rhodes part. I want to say keyboard. Let's just say keyboard part. Lovely chords. Reminds me of the sort of thing you'd hear Steve Lukather play there, actually. I can't believe I haven't used the term smooth jazz to describe this yet, because it is, isn't it? This is smooth jazz. Dropping down to the low string on the bass there, beautiful. Moving up. The interplay between the instruments is beautiful, and I never really noticed this before. The melody throughout the verse is so wonderfully supported by the keyboard part. It's like Brent is playing a melody on top of the piano chords. And then that section there, it was the same but with a pedal steel underneath it. And as I say, pedal steel. I say it all the time. Pedal steel, greatest instrument. Right, now if I recall, we're going to the solo now. A little bit bluesy there. Super bluesy. And that Rhodes part, just beautiful. Pedal steel imitation. It's funny because I often say that Danny Gatton is like one of my biggest influences, but I don't think Danny ever released an album as good as this. I should transcribe those chords. I like those stabs. I shouldn't need to, actually. They're in Dario's book. You can do a lovely rendition of this keyboard part on the guitar and get it to sound really good. Oh, that da. The type of thing you can't transcribe in Guitar Pro right there. Those artificial harmonics. Yeah, the chops are in there. But it's never about the chops, which is nice. Having a bit of a noodle. Beautiful. I love that that's played on a not 4-string bass. That extra range really helps on that tune. It's great. Okay, Blow and Smoke. We're heading into Blow and Smoke. This is one of the country tunes on the record. One of my students played this today, and I was like, nice. Bit of the old Blow and Smoke. I've never learnt this one. So immediately, we finally get some overdrive. Now we're going to move away from what James describes as the relaxing casual listen now as we go into this country riff. I should learn that. It's a great riff. I'm sure there's a harmonica in that. Who's playing that? Yeah, Terry McMillan on harmonica. And we're outlining the changes, right? Like a country player should. We get a harmonica solo. Oh, so I was totally wrong, actually. This is Lonnie Wilson on drums. Randy Mason plays on some of the tracks. Oh, shit. Randy Mason only plays on Swing with a Sting. Such a great riff. Classic lick. Okay. So you've gone from being awake to back asleep. First rule of thumb, easily one of the highlights of the record. Nylon string. We're just pretending to be Jerry Reed here. No, Austin. You click the fucking link in the description. So as I said on my previous video, if you check out Jerry Reed's song Jiffy Jam, this is essentially Jiffy Jam. Though when you listen to it, it could also be a Randy Newman piece from Toy Story. I love this style of playing. Like, Jerry is one of my all-time favourites, so to hear this is nice. I used to play this and I should be better with it. Should learn it again because it's great. There's a version of him playing this on YouTube, just him sat on the back of a truck playing it on an old Gibson, and that's a nice way to hear it. And it's nice that he's playing with a band because that gives him the room to open up and play a solo. I don't think this needed the Fender Rhodes solo. Sunny Sunday balcony music. Boom, boom, ba-da. Got into it with harmonics, haven't you? Okay, heading into Hotwired. This recording, I'm pretty sure, is pitch shifted up a semitone. This was recorded in A, and then it's been shifted to B flat. Now this one will wake you up. Obviously, I'm in the wrong tuning. I forget it. And a proper piano solo. So now everyone's going to tell you that the best lick on the entire album is on this track. In the second solo, he goes a little bit Western swing, and he plays a Lydian dominant lick. Ready for this lick? Here we go. That's so Western swing. I love it. I think it was pitch shifted to change the tempo. I'm sure I remember reading that they cut the track, and then when they were listening to it after, they felt it should have been faster. But I could be wrong on that. Paul Franklin absolutely slaying it on the pedal steel. It just rips. I mean, that did make me want to learn to play country. This is such a great head to this tune. Everyone should learn that. And of course the train beat, right? Love that lick. Okay, heading into Blue Water Girl. You know, this is the one that doesn't grab me as much as some of the others. Maybe it's because it's really slow. I'd say this one and My Little Ballerina are probably my least favourite tracks on the album. But again, it's a 35-minute album, so it never really outstays its welcome. The tracks are short enough for it to not be the worst. Bass going up there, not where you'd expect that to go. I like that voice that moves in the bum 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 in the that last chord. That 5 sharp 5 to 6 in the chord. I like all these double stops, you know. For anyone that's watched me play, I play a lot of double stops, and probably why. Was this and Scotty Anderson? There we go. Now, to me, this feels a lot like a backing track. There's something about the Fender Rhodes. I love the sound of a Rhodes. The Rhodes sound great. I mean, he's got some chops. Kind of slipped by me just how much chops there is on this track. So, James, I'm going to have to correct you there, right? You're using the term background music, and what you mean is music that doesn't grab your attention. Because there are entire, groups of people, masses of people, where this would be the thing that grabs their attention. This would be the thing that they would go out to enjoy. That's Ronnie Scott's, I think. You'd see that at Ronnie Scott's. Hot Wired, not so much. Okay, Gator Bite. There's a cover of me doing this on YouTube. I like this tune. Good one for the country rock, right? Pretty easy riff to play as well. That's why I did a cover of it. Still definitely got a Jerry Reed vibe to it, though. And not recorded with a click track, this one. Okay, guitar solo. Not crazy on the tone. Oh, it's the blistering ascending lick now. I say blistering, like, not that fast, but. It's just so short. Everything's so short. Why can't it be longer? Okay, so this is a slow one. And as I said in my previous video, this one features Chet Atkins on it. This is... So further to things that James was saying there, I wouldn't describe this as background music, but this is very much... I can't listen to this with my eyes open. This is very much... This is reminiscing. This is... reflective music. Lovely chord change there. I do like the melody. I do like this melody. Like I say, very reflective. And it's that chord change, isn't it? And then it gets even more serious. Love the chord changes though. And this is the thing that kind of stands out for me with this album. Like it is a collection of nice pieces of music. You know, my issue with almost like a lullaby. Yeah, I think that's a really nice way of putting it, James. Especially when Chet solo kicks in now. I'll let Chet solo play. This is Chet Atkins. Really laid back feel on these triplets now. If I recall, he keeps playing over the top of this. Yeah. So yeah, on recent podcasts, I kind of been vocal about criticizing how much I don't like Buckethead, and for me, Buckethead's music doesn't have this depth to it. Like Buckethead writes long jams, and that's fine. This is sorry, one of my students is messaging me. These are pieces of music rather than vehicles for someone to solo over. Shown by the fact that Brent didn't have a solo on that. This was about, here's a song I wrote, listen to it. Okay, 2 more to go. The Hank Garland classic, Sugarfoot Rag. Classic Chet lick there. Okay, Sugarfoot Rag. Now this is going to go full on like country jazz now. I like this. It takes a lot to be used to that kind of drums, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. He's just showing off. Yeah, Crawford. So I know Buckethead has a few pieces that are nice, and I can list off a bunch of them that I think are nice. But they're so few and far between. It feels like you don't get to brag about how much musical output you have when most of that musical output is like, here's me jamming over 2 chords for 6 more minutes. But of course, a lot of people are into his stuff, so that's fine. It's just not for me. I think that's the first bit of dobro playing we've had on the whole album, isn't it? Who's playing there? Jerry Douglas on dobro. Yeah, no other dobro on the whole album. Great unison with that piano. 3-part unisons, or 3-part harmonies. This is Western swing. Add in that fiddle over the top. Okay, we're heading for my favourite song, Swing with a Sting. This is my musical identity, this song. It's the chords that he plays with the melody. This is my type of jazz. You have to click on that 2 and 4. Great lick there. Oft. Got to hear, feel that 2 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Makes it more enjoyable. Hello. See what Paul Franklin's got for us. Yeah. Fucking pedal steel is so cool. Because of those chords. You can't do that on guitar. And that's kind of like Jimmy Bryant's Speedy West. Very cool. What a way to end the record. And that's it. That's the entirety of the record. Short and sweet, 35 minutes of awesomeness. If you enjoyed it, I would recommend you check out the album Smoking Section because of songs like Smoking Section, real good. Nothing to It would be my go-to on that song, on that album as well, because that's a really nice representation to me of what Western swing is. I really enjoy that. I think it's got some real vibe to it. Don't know why I've just given you my screen. You probably don't want that. You probably want this. Oh, you probably don't want this, right? But you're getting it anyway. Yeah, so phenomenal record. It holds up for me, and it will always hold up. And look, I appreciate that that's largely due to nostalgia. Like, you're always going to be able to argue that it's nostalgia. I'm always going to love this record because I heard it at a very important time in my development as a musician, and that will never change. You'll never be able to take that away from me. In the same way that when I try to explain to my dad that all of the, crust punk and grindcore that he grew up listening to, I mean, he played it. I'll never be able to explain to him how garbage that is, because to him it's the sound of being young, and to me, I wasn't so young when I got this record, but it's, it left its mark on me, and that will always be the case. But I can justify it because when I listen to it, it's a good record. It's a good record full of really nice guitar playing. I can take James Taylor's points on board. He talks about generally prefers more up-tempo music. Like, no complaints there. Like, I get that. My wife, very much the same. She won't listen to anything slow. She wants something to be full of energy. That's why she likes all of the kind of the pop punk thing. She wants everything to be happy and upbeat. And this is vibe, isn't it? This is vibing. This is about capturing a mood. And that mood can be something other than, yeah. If I want that, yeah, I'll put on other things. This one for me is, just lovely chord progressions. They're songs in the proper sense of the word, not just meaning that you have to have a singer on a song, but chord progression with a melody. That's what a song is to me. Not just somebody jamming over a backing track, not just someone playing random chords, but a song. These are well composed songs, and if you like smooth jazz or country or fusion or lots of ways you can think of this, I think there's a lot to be gleaned from this album. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it. Do go and check it out. Support Brent by I was going to say by streaming it, but like I said, I don't think he gets any of the royalties from this. I think this was signed away a long time ago. But look more into Brent and the things Brent's doing, because Brent is he's the fucking daddy of modern country guitar. He simply is. He's that important. You can't underestimate his influence on country guitar. He's just he's incredible, and his session work is just like no others. So he deserves that respect, deserves that time. Go and listen to him. He's a great player. I'm sure you'll enjoy his work. And of course, if somebody would like to send me money so I can buy one of his new Telecasters, that would be wonderful. But I would totally understand if you wanted to use that money to buy your own one. In fact, I'd respect that too. So essentially, let's just go and sort one of those tellies out, yeah? Lastly, huge thank you to the wonderful supporters over on Patreon. I've seen some of you in the comment section tonight. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you would like to support me over on Patreon, there is a link in the description. You can do so for as little as $1. It gets you access to my private Facebook group. Get a name in the comments. You can do my monthly study club streams. So yeah, that's Crawford's name. Get my monthly study club streams. I've got to do one of those real soon. And you can also have private lessons with me once a month if you want to do that too. That's also cool. If that doesn't appeal, you can also head on over to Amazon. Check out one of my books. Again, link in the description. I'm sure you will find something that you enjoy. So a great way to support the channel. Massive help. Massive help. Every little helps, especially in as we're just being told that the UK has just hit its worst recession. Since the history books have began. We've dropped our GDP has dropped 22%. So tough times ahead. Buy a book, it helps. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. As always, leave a comment, like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. I do appreciate your help and your support. And here's to another stream soon. I've got a bunch of videos pre-recorded because I'm on holiday next week, so expect some really cool music theory videos to go up, and of course some Guitar Soul stuff. Lots coming. Much love. See you for another video soon. Goodbye.